Hello guys, good afternoon. And in this video, in this session, I'll be working on one of the exercises that was sent to me by my former classmate. Shout out to Joshua Duran Maroba. And this is going to be the exercise that was assigned to them by TUP, Talisay University of the Philippines. So let's start. First things first, we need to make sure that our dimension is in inches. So edit on workspace units, inches, yeah, it's already in inches, and decimal places will be 3. That's good. Let's click on sketch, click on the front plane, and the vertical length would be 4 inches. So let's click on this one, click on the origin, and 4. Alright, so, and then the horizontal length is 3.5 with 1.5 as the x component of the 45-degree angle. So start with the 1.5, and then make sure that this is 45 degrees, so we need to edit the angle. Control Z, edit the angle to 45. Alright, so 1.5, 45, and then the distance from this point towards this point must be 3.5 inches. 3.5. So that's about it. Let's cut the excess lines. Let's cut this line because it's unnecessary, and this one also. Just a guide. And then the next thing is the thickness of 1 inch. So from this point towards that point, it's 1 inch. I'm just gonna put it across so that don't worry, I'm just gonna cut the excess lines later. And then from this point towards that point will be 1 inch. So from this point, click on that, edit, put 1, click it downward, and then the next thing we would do is the distance from this point to this point is 1.75. So if we are going to start from this point, it will be 0.75 only. So, and the height is 3.0. So starting from the bottom here is 3.0. So that means if we start up at the top, that will be 1 inch downward. So starting from this point, we click on that and click 1, and then the thickness would be 0.75, and cutting excess lines. Cut this excess line, this one, that one. Alright, so next step would be that, and the distance from this point towards this point should be 2, so that means the height is 1 inch. So since this is 45 degrees, so that means the length of this distance from this point towards this point should be 0.75 also, the same as of at the top. So from 1 inch, from 1 inch thickness, we click on this point, drag it to the left, and edit the dimension, input 0.75. Alright, and then the next thing is we need to have a height of 2.0 from the base towards this point. So that means since we are already using 1.0 from this point towards this point, it means we only need to add 1 inch. So from upward, edit, put 1. Right, that's it, and then connect these two lines, these 2 points, and cutting excess lines, click on check. We compare it with the, okay, so far so good, and we click on extrude. the thickness of this figure is it's 3.0 across, so 3 inches. Alright, click and check. So we already have the frame of our 3D model. Like that. Then the next step that we will do is we need to have this design like that. So the distance from this point toward this point is it's actually visible here. This is 1.25. That means the thickness from this point toward this point is 0.25, all based from the middle. I mean at the middle. So we are going to do isometric view. We click on another sketch, click on this top part, then we use the use tool, and then click on the middle like that, and we use this also. We use this line and this line. So we hide part 1. We already have this shape, hiding part 1. Based on the drawing, it needs to have a 0.25 thickness. 0.25. Click it across like that, and the distance at the center it's 1.25. It's 1.25 from this point towards that point. So now dividing 1.25 by 2, because we are basing it at the center, dividing 1.25 by 2, that will be, let's use the calculator, 0.25 divided by 2, 0.625. So since it's from the center, you click on up, you drag our mouse upward and put 0.625. Same thing at the bottom, 0.625. Connect it here on that line. Same thing at the top, connect it here on that line, and then we'll be cutting excess lines. Cut this excess line, cut this, and that's about it. Okay, we click on check. Depth is 1.0. So the depth, if we extrude this one and then, or we can extrude, click on this one, then we click on remove. Like that, and the depth will be 1 inch. Just like that, it's that easy. Actually have in extrude, you actually have 3 choices. It's either you add it on the existing part, you put on a new part, will be considered as part 2, or you remove that certain area and then with a certain depth of 1 inch, so you will be able to remove or chip away a certain portion of the solid depending on the area of your sketch and the depth that you have specified. So if I put in a depth of 2 here, so it will go downward like that, since what's specified here in the drawing is only 1.0, so I'm gonna put 1 inch. So I've already removed that specific part there in order for me to follow the same specification as what is indicated on the exercise. That's for the upper portion. So let's move towards the lower part. Yeah. So since they share the same thickness and the same width and length, that means whatever distance here, the 1.25 distance from this point towards this point and the 0.25 thickness from this point towards this point, it's also going to be the same with this one. So we need to click another sketch and we base it on the lower portion of the figure. And then since we already have a guide here, we're just going to use that point and this point, and then follow a certain line just like that, and also this one. Do not worry about excess lines because we're just going to delete them, and this point from this point will be 0.25 and connect it downwards. Cutting excess lines, cut that one, cut that one, cut this one, cut this one. Oh, wait, we need to connect this point towards this, and then before we cut the excess lines. And the same thing, we click on check, we click on extrude, click on this sketch, and then instead of add, we click on remove and then specify 1 inch. So it's already 1 inch. Let's see, it's already been chipped away. We click on check, isometric view. We've already removed those certain portions of the area of our figure on both sides. I mean on both ends. This end here and then this end here. So what's lacking is this one, the hole in the middle, 2 holes in the middle. So the hole is located, the thickness from this line here towards the center is 0.707. So we click another sketch, click on this diagonal line, and then we need to have a center point, so we base it on the top plane. Need to have a center here, so we need to find a center. We just hover your mouse and find where the center is, and then click on it by using the use tool or convert or project tool. After which we are going to click on line and then construction line, so that we'll have a guide which line we are going to follow. And then it's 707 distance from this line towards the center. So we are going to do the same thing. So 707 from this line towards this line, 0.707. And then we connect it here, like that. That's for the distance from this point toward this point. So the question here is, where do we put the hole? So based on the specification here, it needs to be centered on each. So we cut these lines. It needs to be centered here. So in order to do so, let's find a center. Or if you cannot find a center, we'll just X marks the spot. Use the X mark in order to find the center. Like that. Same thing for here. So there, we can already locate where the center is. So we need to make use of our project tool in order to create project the lines created by the figure, so that we can use it as a reference of our drawing. So we need to create a circle since it is a hole, and the dimension of the circle is 5.5 inches in diameter. So click it at the center, specify it's 0.5. Same thing at the upper portion, click here at the center, double click and then indicate 0.5. And then what we're going to do next is delete the excess lines. What we only need is this circle. Just like that. Deleting excess lines, delete this line, this line, this line, and that line, and this line also, that line also. So we already have 2 circles at the middle of this diagonal side of our drawing. So we click on check, we do the isometric view, and then we hide part 1. I mean, we do not hide part 1, we show sketch 5. Just like that, we hide the origin and other planes, and then we show sketch 5. And then the next thing that we would do is click on the hole tool. And the type of hole that we are going to do is a through hole. So that means from it will actually pierce towards here. It will pierce at the end point of whatever depth is specified in the exercise. So the depth specified here is 4 by 0.60 by 0.45. 4 by 0.60 by 0.45. I mean, that's the 0.45 is actually the chamfer. So 4, that means the hole is 4 inches. Not worry about that, that's for the through hole. Since it's already a through hole, so the tool here is we are already using a through hole. That means whatever thickness is the solid is, it will actually directly pierce towards the end point. So what we are going to specify only is the diameter of a circle. I mean the diameter of the hole. Since the diameter of the hole is specified as 0.5, so we are going to indicate here 0.5. Just like that. And merge scope. Merge scope is what solid are we going to pierce. So this solid. Just like that. And we click on check. So we already pierced. We already created a hole through this solid here, as what is indicated on the drawing. So the next thing that we would do is create a chamfer. Chamfer, I mean. 0.60 chamfer on this. It's 0.6. I mean, not 0.6 but 45. It's 0.06, not 0.6. Click on check, and that's it. We hide sketch 5. We do the isometric view. Actually, I forgot. Actually, we need to base here. We need to put a chamfer 4 times. That means on all 4 sides. I mean 4 corners. One, this corner, this corner, this corner, this corner, and this corner. We need to create a chamfer of a radius of 0.33. So click on chamfer. Click on that corner there. This corner also. 0.33. 0.033, I mean. Same thing on that corner and this corner. Click on check, and that's it. Click on isometric view. Compare it to the drawing, the sketch given by the University of Talisay. So the details are followed, the specifications are followed. So this is the final product, guys. So thank you so much. Have a great day and stay safe always. Bye for now, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. And if you have any requests, just comment down below so that I'll be able to create a video on that specific request. Bye bye.